Hello guys and gals, modern gaming is disappointing. Wow, hot take there, Muda, Jesus Christ. But didn't you like games that came out recently? Yeah, I like Resident Evil 4 Remake. I like Dead Space Remake. Yeah, there you go. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to start off with a eulogy. Mineplex is dead. So for some of y'all Minecrafters out there that you love to play on the old metaverse with your friends, play the little mini games, go to the Dallas Mavericks Stadium to be recreated. Yes, not even joking. Mavs World will launch on Mineplex servers. Yeah, this banger of a game that has currently -2 players online because the servers have been taken down. As you're all aware, servers and the websites have been down for a couple days now. Unfortunately, I have been given the burden of informing you that this will be forever. Yeah, it's a shame, man. All good things do come to an end. You know what does come to an end, though? Overwatch 2. Now, I want to start off by saying modern Blizzard is kind of sad, okay? Now, I used to be a big Blizzard boy, okay? Let me tell you, before the controversies, they used to make World of Warcraft back when, honestly, it was decent. I enjoyed it. It was fun. You had Warcraft. I enjoyed Warcraft. I enjoyed a little Warcraft 3. StarCraft, never really played, but honestly, it was a fun game. But Diablo is where I put most of my hours into, okay? Nothing gets your boy Diamond Tom Brady hard like getting the same loot over and over again with marginally better stats, okay? There's just something addicting about the Diablo formula that I actually have to imagine you have to fail really bad. You have to purposefully fuck up so hard to mess that game up that I honestly don't see Blizzard doing that. Then again, I could be mistaken, okay? Now, that being said, though, Overwatch is one of Blizzard's shooter games. Their live service, like arena shooter. Now, Overwatch has 2 games, actually 1 game, Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 1.2, which they call Overwatch 2, but it's basically just Overwatch 1, except they made it free to play and gave people who paid like $60 back in the day some skins, okay? Woohoo! Let's go. Exciting stuff right there, gamers. Now, that being said, though, Overwatch 2, the community is currently reeling from the fact that the one mode that they were pimping out for the longest time, basically the reason this game is called Overwatch 2, okay, that's gone. PVE hero mode is being scrapped. Oh boy, this is the game. I want to just really reiterate. When Overwatch was becoming Overwatch 2, this is the goddamn reason why they had to port the game over to a new engine, an updated engine, the fact that they wanted to create a sequel, all right, which, again, I don't understand why people lined up to play Overwatch 2 like crazy on release day. Overwatch, to me, was fun for the first 6 months, and after that, all the characters they introduced felt like recolors. There was a severe content drought to the point where I'm not even fucking with you. Halo Infinite had a better release schedule for content, in my opinion, than Overwatch, okay, throughout its entire goddamn life. Now, the Overwatch community since 2019 has basically been begging for new content, okay? Just can we have a little bit of content, maybe a map? Can we at least, can a brother get a goddamn emote, okay? Please, Christ, can we get an emote? That's how bad the community got, okay? Pandemic hit, okay, yeah, sure. Obviously, development's gonna be a little bit screwed. Obviously, but you know, comparing Overwatch to other games like Siege, Halo Infinite, Call of Duty Warzone, it literally doesn't even feel like it's in the same league. This is a game that is honestly the content basically doesn't exist in my opinion, and honestly, once you played like 10-15 matches of it, I can guarantee you a year from the release date of Overwatch 2, not much will ever actually change. Now, this PvE mode, this hero mode, was supposed to be the reason, again, that it was Overwatch 2. And it's basically been removed, okay? Yes, this cooperative mode that I would have played, I know my friends would have played, we actually talked about it when we heard of Overwatch 2. The only reason I really am not playing Overwatch 2 is because all I was waiting for was this mode, and it's gone. It's done. So effectively, what was it? It was the promise of a PvE hero component that would allow players to gather their squads, play through a narrative-driven multiplayer experience, co-op, and on top of that, each of the heroes they'd come to know and love would be reworked for PvE and given progression systems that would allow players to unlock new talents, which sounds like a cool thing. I'm not much for Overwatch PvP because the community is toxic dog shit. But I'm totally down for some PvE. I love PvE, and any game that brings it, if it's good, I'll truly get into the experience. So of course it was removed right here, and we're going to read exactly why. According to the team, the decision was made for the good of the game and its live multiplayer component. Okay, now let me explain something about the multiplayer component, alright? Honestly, compared to the original Overwatch, the fact that the loot box system, which arguably is way better because at least you constantly felt like you were progressing and unlocking things, has pretty much been replaced by the most like lazy progression systems of modern gaming, where honestly, like comparing it to older games, even older stuff like when I was a kid, like Modern Warfare 2 on the original Xbox 360, those era of games, it feels like the progression here is mostly intended for you to progress with your credit card, okay? Like, if you want to buy these battle passes and these systems and grind those out, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, a lot of business users, a lot of psychological experts that have found that this is the best way to siphon money and probably develop gaming addictions through just so people can constantly stick to video games. I'll be real though, I don't really much enjoy the Overwatch 2 live service components. Hell, I don't like most live service stuff anyways. So basically the talking point is with PvE that you basically aren't doing it. I would characterize it slightly differently. We are doing part of what the team had set out to do, but not the entirety of what was discussed back at BlizzCon 2019. So it's fair to say the experience you showed during the original reveal will not be released, is not going to be the one that will be released at any point. Yeah, exactly. We're definitely not doing the hero mode and the talents and all that progression stuff. Yeah, so how did they discover that this was actually supposed to be the case? So basically, the development of any game is a process. In the years following our announcement at BlizzCon, we had a really large portion of our team working on the PvE side of the game, and I think players of our live running game could feel that because we eventually stopped making content for it, maybe been around 2.5 years since the last show we launched, and we wouldn't want to be back at the point where it's another 3.5 years since launching a PvP map. So we looked hard at what we were doing with the live game in this service, and we found that it's a much bigger thing and we were working to hope and release later. The interesting thing about it is, it's such a difference releasing content for players that are playing your game instead of saving up all that content for one big release. So obviously they couldn't handle releasing content in a steady pace for the live component, and then just harbor and save all that for like a massive PvE launch release. So again, I think that's what they're going for, but honestly, this is kind of weird from a development perspective, because it's like, what the fuck were you doing all those years? You clearly were testing this game mode, you clearly had something up and running, and honestly, while I'm not a game developer, I can't imagine having like tower defense modes and basic multiplayer co-op modes be that difficult to implement even within a modern game. This is Blizzard we're talking about, not some Jim Bob indie developer in their garage. I don't understand how this would have been so difficult for them to do. I could probably understand balancing all these operators and creating individual perk trees and individual development mechanics. That might have been a tall order. But then again, this is why you were doing this for years. Your first game suffered, and your second game also suffered. And in the end, all we got was a lazily done roadmap. Look at the new roadmap right now. Season 5, you've got Quest Watch, which is just a game mode you could imagine. Mischief and Magic, some cinematic reveal, summer games, like a fucking cutscene. Some game modes retooled. You've got Creator Workshop 5v5 mini comp season, On Fire returns. Then you've got story missions, so some of that co-op stuff is breaking in. I assume stuff like wave defense, tower stuff, basic little co-op game modes is what they mean by story mission. Then they're hyping up a new support hero. Nobody plays fucking support in this game! I do, but I mean, not many people love to. You got Flashpoint and Hero Mastery. What is Hero Mastery? Are you adding an aimbot system? I mean, they're literally telling you they're getting a firing range, player progression system, Overwatch Anniversary, and more. Firing ranges are in every modern shooter anyways. This is not some new thing. Honestly, that's probably in the original game too, if I'm not mistaken, like a little training area. Then, of course, you've got new tank hero, new collaboration event, probably with another Blizzard IP like Diablo, I could imagine. New control map, new winter event, new hero mastery, Roadhog rework, so on and so forth. So, again, it's almost like the amount of content people were waiting years for has been completely scrapped and replaced with basically nothing, okay? So, yeah, modern gaming, pretty goddamn sad. And honestly, it's a pretty embarrassing day for Blizzard too, given the fact that this is one of their big games in their lineup, and they've absolutely done fucking all to support it. Now, to be honest, modern gaming is something that I really do shy away from, because all of it is really just sad. You know, there's like one modern game lately that I've been absolutely putting hours of my life into, and it's not Tears of the Kingdom, actually. Like, I've got through the second dungeon of Tears of the Kingdom, and while it's a great game, I don't think it's like the craziest, amazing AAA title out there. What I am playing is Shadows of Doubt, a goddamn indie game developed by a few people that has more effort put into it than honestly a lot of these other massive AAA titles. It might not be visually superior, but it's the only game that I know that actually takes the idea of every NPC is unique into its into the stratosphere. I'm literally doing murder mysteries. Yeah, they're procedurally generated, but in a city with so many different variables, it's insane that what a AAA game company should be making, something like Warner Brothers, EA, Rockstar, is done by an indie developer, okay? Literally, more hours I've been putting into games like Uplink. Uplink! That's how much of a drought modern gaming really is. Everything nowadays is just honestly a depressing mess. Either it never comes out, or if it comes out, it's broken as fuck. Literally. The only thing Overwatch 2 had going for it is now gutted. Amazing. Amazing. Brilliant. That being said, though, hopefully Diablo turns out to be good. I mean, God, if they mess that up, man, it's going to be the worst blow up on the internet, dude. Anyways, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.